Ha, you dumb nigger. You ain't no Z-fighter. You're more like a girl that runs.
Since I've played Xenoverse, I've constantly ran into little crybabies, modders, and things in the game that weren't right to me and probably made me upset. Now I just want to go right ahead and say, I saw absolutely nothing wrong with Xenoverse. The only problems that I can be 100% honest with you about the game was quitting early without a penalty, because a red name doesn't do shit, and that Naruto shit where after a few disconnects, no matter if it was an accident, it told the person and kept track of your disconnection frequency, which in my opinion was completely retarded. What I wanted patched about that was hopefully preventing dashboarders and rage quitting by ending the match immediately once they left, no matter the situation.
Oh, Foamy, but what if someone has bad connection?
Too bad. The game should end immediately, awarding the other player the battle points, aka BP, or the victory, whatever game type they were playing. I ran into too many people rage quitting on me during the tournament, and they got to keep their place up in the ranks by doing so, which was unfair, and that is something that is a major flaw in Xenoverse that should be fixed in the game, and is an issue everyone can agree on, not some shitty issue about spam or whatever. Good lord, I'm gonna go in on spam in a second. But hit detection was a constant complaint, even though most of the time it had to do with lag. Xenoverse had a new engine. It wasn't running on Budokai Tenkaichi, whatever, engine, or Burst Limit engine, or any Dragon Ball game engine. So I never saw an issue with hit detection, only when I would hit someone and it did no damage, which in my eyes was lag, because it never happened all the time. Only when I played someone with shitty connection. Now, spam.
Since the beginning of video games, there has always been spam. Now, many game developers obviously had this in their head, whether they wanted to allow it or not.
Some developers have prevented spam by setting a cooldown timer on a certain game mechanic to prevent this spam. It's been done, but a lot of games allow it for some reason that makes a lot of people bitch and complain. And let me just say this early. There's a difference between constructive criticism and complaining, aka bitching. When someone is sending me hate messages for using Milky Cannon or Shine Shot, or someone with a melee build using Pearl Flash or Gigantic Omega.
Damn it, bitch. Keep using it, dude. Keep using it over and over. There you go.
Special Beam Cannon!
Do it again. Do it over and over. As much as you fucking want. Yeah, I know, but you keep doing it over and over. I'm gonna have to fucking kick you. And I'm gonna put you as an avoided player.
Constantly bitching and complaining about it, knowing that spam is in fact possible to do in the game, gets annoying. Maybe instead of raging in the YouTube comments about someone using a move more than once to win because it worked for them, you should go to the Xenoverse forums and suggest an idea, or give some constructive criticism saying something like, I've noticed that in the game people are allowed to use a move in a rapid succession throughout the game, resulting in a win for them. Maybe insert a delay on how fast that move can be used again and again, to give beginners a chance and people like me because I fucking suck at the game. And maybe Dimps or Bandai will come across your suggestion and consider it more than a person crying on the forums every hour after they lost to someone spamming. Well, if you haven't noticed, in Xenoverse, you have something called a key bar, and it's in every Dragon Ball game. Almost in every fighting game, to be honest, that has a special move ability or mechanic, whatever, something like that. That key bar limits your super attacks, and over time you can regain it back by using melee attacks or receiving damage. If that's not your cup of tea, the developers also included alternatives to use races in the game, such as humans, that auto charge key, or Ziso that mimics that ability for another race that probably doesn't have that auto charge ability, which humans are the only ones that have it. But that too has its limits, and People complain about Super Saiyan spam. Now, when I bought the game on release day, I chose the Saiyan race because if you watch the show, they're pretty much superior to all races. And, well, I don't know. People have their opinions, but I liked Saiyans. Almost everyone I knew loved Saiyans and wanted to be a Saiyan in real life. And I chose a Saiyan not knowing a damn thing about the game, only assuming I was going to be the baddest motherfucker in the game like the show. Now, over time, I would get messages saying, get good, stop Super Saiyan spamming, and learn how to play legitly. Hello? Do you not realize when in Super Saiyan mode, and there's also different ones with better abilities like Super Saiyan 2 or Super Vegeta or whatever it's called. But when you're in Super Saiyan mode, you get to go all out and spam the shit out of your moves for a limited time. Do you not think that this was Bandai's intention? What? Do you want me to go Super Saiyan when I'm at 20% health and my opponent is at 60% and run up to him and try to punch him? Are you kidding me? No, I'm gonna go all out and hope I can make a comeback by showering this motherfucker with every move that I have equipped. This is not a flaw in the game, so stop bitching. Have you seen other games that allow certain moves to be used more than once? They allow that shit in tournaments with real prize money. I'm sorry, but if you can't perfect block someone spamming, then you should just fucking quit. No one is unbeatable. There is so many ways to beat good people. Now, the Xenoverse community is cancer. I'm sorry. No, I'm not fucking sorry. Now, it's not an unknown fact for someone to get upset at you in a game, whether it be a 13-year-old threatening to kill your whole family because you sat in one spot on Modern Warfare 2 with one-man army pro noob-tubing the whole game, or someone yelling at you in Xenoverse telling you that you're bad for winning. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and not name any names. Those of you watching this, you know who you are. I've lost so many times in Xenoverse to random people and to people who talk trash even after they won. Then I got tired of using my Saiyan melee build when I was approached by a mystery man who I never saw again on Xenoverse. Yeah, it sounds extremely corny, but it's true. I was invited to this guy's party, and he literally had the potential to be a god at Xenoverse. But I never saw him again, and all he did was tell me how to make an OP Key Blaster melee build. Now I was sick of the many melee builds out there and could not get good with a melee character at all. And it's no secret that they're all clones. They're all the same. They all fight the same. All melee builds fight the same. So that was no fun. So I went towards making a female Earthling Key build once the mystery man told me how stronger they are than Saiyans in Key. And I got so much shit from the Xenoverse community, but I started to win more because it was different. Something people were not used to. And there were so many people in the community that tried to use me only caring about winning as a golden insult. Like, they all tried to use that on me. I'm sorry, but if you message me only caring about winning, you must also care. Because I don't know about you, but I've lost too many times to not care. I then would get hate for yielding. Now, yielding, gliding, backpedaling, drifting, and Xenoverse is strongly hated, and I don't understand why. For a Key Blaster, it's completely normal, or any build to be honest. If I have 0 basic attack and 100 in Key, I'm going to use melee, but I'm also going to use my Key moves a lot more, because in order for most of my moves to hit you, I have to punch you into a combo, and then back away so that I don't get hit by a deadly melee combo. Now, I would get tired of people telling me I run too much and that they don't want to chase me, but it's something that is possible to do in the game. It's not illegal, and it's beatable. People who get upset about backpedaling are the same people that don't know how to beat it, because they're so used to being big brutes, being super close, kissing each other, punching till death. Melee builds. Now, I understand that a person who drifts the whole game, uses one move the whole game, can get annoying, but it's a strategy for that person. Not necessarily my favorite, because I like to try to end the fights quickly depending on the person I'm fighting, but it's not playing cheap. There's no such thing as playing cheap in Xenoverse.
Oh my god! Did he just say that?
If I'm not in God mode and killing you in one hit with mods, you have no reason to complain. I never complained about anyone and their playstyle. I always got the shit because I spam Milky Cannon or Shine Shot. Guys, it's your fucking fault if you cannot perfect block almost every move this late in the game already. Now for my key build, I had low stamina, so I had to backpedal to get my stamina back or else I would get wrecked. And I could see the frustration in my opponent by his constant flying at me and trying to hit me, but once I got my stamina back, I was ready to attack again. People, it's not hard to understand. If anything, I'm making the game harder for myself with low stamina. Now, there were multiple community tournaments, and I have Xenoverse on every console but PS3. Call me crazy. I had the money, and my friends didn't all have an Xbox One or a PS4. So I bought the game so I can play with all my friends. Anyways, they had community tournaments, and in those tournaments, there were restrictive moves, Z-Souls, etc., which was okay. It's a community tournament. If you didn't agree with some of the restrictive moves, you either equipped new moves or didn't participate. But some were just downright ridiculous and favored the melee playstyle, which I noticed a lot, being unfair to the other playstyles. And even though I don't play as a Saiyan anymore, one of the restrictions was no Super Saiyan because it recharges your stamina quicker once your Super Saiyan runs out. Or pressing LT or L1 to spam block because it wasn't considered blocking legitimately. If you believe in this, I'm sorry, but you have issues. Because blocking is free of charge in almost every game. Deal with it. And I didn't participate because it was just ridiculous and it gave me an idea on how cancerous this community was becoming. It was already terrible the second I got a message telling me not to use a move that's in the game the next time we fought. There's nothing wrong with Pearl Flash, Death Beam, Shining Slash, Phantom Fist, Gigantic Omega, or any of the most hated moves. They're all beatable. And the developers over time did patch moves, and the most noticeable were the ultimates with invincibility frames like Death Ball, Dual Destructo Discs, and Blue Hurricane. And removing these invincibility frames stopped ultimate spam, which I will agree was a problem, but it wasn't really a problem for me, it was a problem for my friends, because I always found a way to get around the shit. It's a fucking game. Find ways to get around it, don't always complain. And by removing these frames, it stopped the ultimate spam and caused you to have your guard broken or lose stamina. And one of my all-time favorites that everyone used and stopped using after it got patched was Symphonic Destruction. Everyone was so scared to use that move after it was patched because if you missed, you would have your guard broken instantly. But I still used it and adapted new ways to use it effectively because it is a strong move. I don't know why people would stop using it. It's a strong move. But people don't want to learn. And like I said, if you cannot perfect block most of all the moves in Xenoverse by now, then just quit. Because believe it or not, Xenoverse was just a test game, and if it did well, which it did obviously, there would be another Xenoverse game. Now I love Xenoverse. It was a fun game besides the people who couldn't take the loss and live with it. It was a really good game since Budokai Tenkaichi. Bleh! Tenkaichi 3, my all-time favorite. And I love Xenoverse, and I honestly hope all the shit that people bitched about is fixed in the next game, so I don't have to hear it again. But I could care less if hit detection is still bad as people say it is, and if the game is the exact same with 3 new characters, maybe give an option to remove time when playing with friends or solo play, but don't remove that shit from rank match, screw that. But even if that isn't added, I'm still going to play however I want, because I'm paying for it, and I'm not going to limit myself by not using a good move because someone hates it. And you shouldn't either. Who cares what people think? If playing you makes a game unfun for others, don't change how you play for them because they're having a bad time. If you want a mod, go ahead. You'll get banned, and just don't expect to fucking play me. And if you ever cause a really good person who everyone loses to, like the best player, the #1 in ranked matches, if you're able to make that person upset with you, then you're doing something right. So let the game developers make the changes, not the people. There's so much other crap I probably will wish I talked about after uploading this, about my personal experience with Xenoverse, but I think I've said enough. So, thank you for listening to my voice, and don't go too hard in the comments. Oh, and by the way, Xenoverse drama is a waste of time. If you have Xenoverse drama with someone, go buy yourself a dress, get your nails done after you got your sex change, because it's fucking stupid and a waste of time. No one is exposing anyone, it's just child's play. So see you guys in Xenoverse 2.
I like pancakes and buttermilk.